back to the Hall of Dames. I am Clofton P. Grudge, and sitting next to me, and turning the microphone on, and now leaning forward.
Sookie Talking Smackhouse, otherwise...
Closer, much closer, much louder.
Okay, Sookie Talking Smackhouse,
Hey!
otherwise known as Jaeger's mom.
Okay, fantastic. We are just about ready to get started with our introductions. We'll do some safety reminders momentarily. Your first team to take the track without any further ado is the reigning league champion Runaway Brides. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Skating this evening for the Runaway Brides, number 00, Novocaine. Number 4, Cherry Kiss. Number D20, D&D's Nuts. Number 38, NC Jammer. Number 44, Magnum Dirty Carry. Number 420, Astro Thought. Number 487, To Kill Ya. Number 623, Hollywood. Number 713, Shank Williams. Number 772, Al Annihilate Ya. Your co-captain, number 151, Ash Smash'em. And your captain of the Runaway Brides, number 95, Lightning the Queen. Your bench coaches for the Runaway Brides are Troy McClure and Nikki Badass.
And now taking the track are the Coffin Draggers. And for the Coffin Draggers, we've got number 3, Enema Burns. Number 13, Hugs and Stitches. Number 18, Embezzlement. Number 23, Murder Mittens. Number 96, All of You Die. 414, Foxy Razordean. Number 835, Scarin' Jaeger. 1312, Ricky D. Bones. 1999, Show Enough. 7780, Pee Wee Vermin. And your co-captain for the Draggers is number 666, Strange. And your captain, 616, Antifa. And your dragger coaches tonight are Gare Bear, Grantula, and Bed Bugs Bunny.
All right, we are ready to get going. Fantastic. Wonderful as always be sitting next to Sookie Talking Smackhouse. As I said before the break, I'm Bill Compton. We're underway. Your first jammers are Cherry Kiss, which we've said a lot for the Runaway Brides, and All of You Die for the Coffin Draggers. So we're underway in our first jam. And there goes Cherry Kiss breaking clear.
Jammer.
Just remember, you got to eat that microphone up to be heard. All of Uday is trying to fight through at the back of the pack. Is now going to dodge around that last blocker and get it done. Cherry Kiss catches up to the pack.
Cherry's looking at getting some opposition here from the pack as she's trying to score some points and calls it off.
We'll check on the scoring there from the infield. Olive coming in with a full head of steam. It's going to be 3 points to start things off for the Brides. So 3 points for the Brides, and no score yet for the Coffin Draggers in the very early going.
And on the jammer line, we got number 23, Murder Mittens for the Draggers.
And we got number 623, Hollyhood, number 623. Hollyhood for the Runaway Brides. Hollyhood runs squarely into the back of Pee Wee Vermin and kind of gets knocked hard, but absorbs the contact. Stays upright. My goodness. Hanging on to the inside of the track. It's kind of willing Hollyhood to stay upright with my voice there. Like watching one of my dogs run. Shake and Clear is the jammer now. Taking over as jammer for the Coffin Draggers is Hugs and Stitches, and Hollyhood calls it off.
Okay, looks like we got a power jam. Third jam in, and it's going to be Cherry Kiss for the Runaway Brides.
It was bound to happen. I just have to jump in there. Cherry Kiss was so far behind the jammer line that Hollywood thought there wasn't a jammer and raced out to take the jammer line, and Cherry was like, I'm up here. Eventually, you knew that was going to happen with them starting that far behind. I do apologize, though.
And Cherry's already out. We're talking, and she's already gone.
Absolutely.
And she's coming up to she's coming up to the back of the pack. Oh, sorry. Actually, front of the pack now. She's out. Completed a scoring pass. Coming around. Looks like they're setting up to go ahead and try and keep her back, though, a little bit. Nope, but she's out again.
This will be Cherry's third pass, and there's still 21 seconds to go.
And Cherry's still fighting to get out of the pack on this last scoring pass. Oh, big hit there. Who was that?
Checking that at the front of the pack, I believe it may have been Bones, I'm not sure. Somebody there delivered a heck of a block to Cherry because while Cherry was not watching, what are we going to do here? It looks like we're going to swing this right back around, and now it's going to be a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. Or is it? Or is it? It is. It is a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. Hugs and Stitches to the cheers of the faithful in the stands is now going to back up. It was a 15-point power jam for the Brides there, so they're in front 22-0 at the moment. But Stitches is going to try to change that.
Stitches is coming around real fast there. Working her way through the pack. Brides are putting up a pretty good opposition, though. A little bit of a tumble there. But back up on the skates. Oh, we got a two-person wall there. A very formidable wall. Stitches is back out for another scoring pass.
Looking at 12 seconds left, so Stitches ought to get a pretty good crack at this, provided she can catch the pack anyway.
Just a couple more seconds left on the clock.
Stitches comes in, runs squarely into the shoulder of Hollyhood, and Hollyhood absorbs all that momentum. All right, checking on the score. Hugs and Stitches put 7 points on the board for the Coffin Draggers. So, scoring underway for the Draggers. Your score right now, 22-7.
And looks like on the jammer line for the Brides, we've got 151 Ash Smash'em and 666 for the Coffin Draggers Strange.
Strange bebopping around before the snap like a freestanding defensive lines person in the NFL, and Strange already out and clear for the Draggers. So now technically the second straight jam in which the Draggers have lead. Jam Strange along the inside and then ducks up to the high side. Able to get around Cherry Kiss.
Ash Smash'em looks like they're up against a couple Draggers back there. Still trying to get through the pack while Strange is coming around again.
Ash tried to get in the way and at least try to slow down. And look out there along the infield.
Yeah, Cherry delivered a nice little bump there to Strange.
Yeah, definitely. And Strange kind of barrel rolled right into Bender B. Rodriguez, but Bender's rolled back just enough to keep from getting kneecapped. 12 seconds left in the jam. It feels like this jam has been going on for a long time.
It does, and there's been actually quite a few hits going on too, so both teams are
all right,
really
there we are. We have it called to a stop. We're going to have, I see, some Puerto Rican guy, indeed, is now going to come out and signal team timeout, Runaway Brides. Okay, so 10 points for the Coffin Draggers there in that jam, 22-17. The Draggers have come to life here in the last two jams. 8:53 to go in the first quarter.
I think we need to talk about this game because this is a number 1 ranked team versus number 2 ranked team. So the question is, will the Runaway Brides maintain their spot or will the Coffin Draggers drag them down?
There indeed is the question. As we mentioned earlier, for the earlier bout this evening, it's all about playoff positioning now, especially with, again, like you said, with these two teams both sitting atop the standings. So this is probably a battle for the top seed in the playoffs. So the team timeout has progressed into an official timeout. Give me 1 second, and I will step aside if needed. All right, scorekeeping from Ref Boyardee. Always the consummate professional coming over and telling us as the head referee that he's going to be giving, the fair arbiter of the game. No, what happened was the Runaway Brides called timeout, but the regulators had more to discuss than would have taken during the timeout, so it was reclassified an official timeout, and the Brides got their first half timeout back.
So let's hear from the fans. Who's here for the Coffin Draggers?
There we go. We got some Draggers fans. The car's out there. The car's here for the Coffin Draggers. Where's our Runaway Brides fans in the house this evening?
Oh, come on. Let's hear it, Brides fans.
The Brides fans are also consummate professionals. There we go along the inside is Dirty Carry for the Brides, but blasting to the front, lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers. That's
Carrie's hot on their trail, though.
Indeed. Carrie is out. Good call there, Sookie. So now Murder Mittens trying to catch a very fast-moving pack. Gets knocked off the track by Alan. Oh, excuse me. I think it was Hollywood there at the front of the pack. Collision at the end there. Make sure everybody's all right. Everybody is. All right. So Murder Mittens had to fight to get back on the track to call that one off.
And on the jammer line, we've got All of You Die, number 96, and number 4, Cherry Kiss for the Brides.
Yeah, sorry, I should stop making Sookie laugh between jams because we know that it was olive and cherry, and I said martini toppings. So now there goes neither one of them are 21. That's even the worst part. There goes Olive and Cherry. Cherry along the inside and is going to get out as lead jammer. Olive out right
Olive's
behind.
on her trail.
Cherry heard the crowd look right over her shoulder. So the race is on. Cherry's going to try to catch the pack. The Coffin Draggers are going to try to stay out of play. Players crashing into each other. Cherry Kiss flies in. Basically lands on her knees at the feet of a defender. Okay. Calls it off. 2 hard-fought points. There we go. So this bout shaping up so far, at least through the first half of the first quarter, to be much like our previous bout of the evening. Very exciting. 2 points for the Runaway Brides.
And we've got Dirty Carry for the Brides, number 44, and Murder Mittens, number 23 for the Draggers. Carrie doing a little spin move there to get out of the pack, and off she goes.
Murder Mittens gets deposited on the posterior and slides down, so still trying to get clear. Now races through, finds an opening, just like that. Kind of found an opening and got by Hollywood at the front of the pack.
Carrie stuck towards the back a bit there a little bit. Looks like some draggers are trying to keep her back, and they call it off.
Two more points for the Brides there, so slugging it out here in the early going. Points coming in bits and starts of 2 and 3 at a time. Brides in front by 6 at the moment.
Oh, and hello, Cherry, once again, number 4 on the jammer line. And who do we have for the draggers? Is that Strange?
That is Strange.
Hello, Strange, number 666.
Co-captain Strange, and then Cherry Kiss skating for the second time this evening. And what Cherry Kiss just kind of went through and just glanced over and was like, nope, nobody? Okay, I'm going to go. That was interesting. Strange gets out as well to put the pressure on.
Strange is coming, yeah.
A lot. We've seen that a lot here with both jammers getting out, and that's why the score is just kind of crawling ahead, is nobody's getting a second scoring pass in.
I'm kind of noticing here, Clifton, too, that we've got really fast-moving packs so far.
It seems so far that is the case with both jammers getting out so often, then basically it tries to, you'll see the team that's in danger of surrendering points will be trying to get in front of the other team, and you'll see that happen a lot in cases like this. So another 3 for the Runaway Brides, basically to punctuate our sentence. 29-20 Brides in front with 5:15 to go.
And we got Hugs and Stitches, number 13 for the draggers jamming, and Hollywood for the Brides.
So I see a whole lot of blocking, and Hollywood's now going to race to the front, gets taken down, trying to clear and taking off. Look at that. What a block. Hugs and Stitches just kind of knocked Hollywood off balance, and Hollywood took a big tumble. So Stitches now half a track ahead, is going to try to weave into, just runs right into the back, a dirty carry. Now waves through and calls it off at the last second. Hollywood with the pursuit. So excellent gamespersonship there by Hugs and Stitches. Just kind of had a open lane and just sort of threw a shoulder into Hollywood on the way by. We've got a Jaeger power.
I think we do.
So remember to lean into your mic. Oh no! Oh no!
Ooh,
Why would you deprive her?
Is that a challenge?
We do have a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. We were setting up for a power jam. And my erstwhile co-announcer was pretty excited because it looked like it was going to be Jaeger that was going to do the power jam. So I was preparing to sit back and sip my Diet Mountain Dew peacefully for 60 seconds. However, the Runaway Brides have called the challenge, so we'll put a bookmark in that. Here's my Tums. I actually do have Tums. I don't eat during bouts because then I just sit up here and hiccup and sound like a frog for the entire second bout. But I do talk so much that it ends up giving me heartburn on my empty tum. So the challenge is going to continue. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop babbling. Hey, we'd like to know, are there any fans that are here for this bout that are at their first bout? So fans that didn't see the first bout tonight and are now at their first bout. Is there anybody here like that? I'm just curious.
Any newbies in the crowd? Anybody who's never
anybody
seen?
just
Oh,
kinda
there
hang
we
around?
go. We got a
We got
couple.
some?
Woohoo!
Anybody hang around after the first bout just because they had such a good time and they're just watching more good roller derby? Yeah, I got a few woos. Thank you. There we go. I like it. See? There you go. Yeah, and this, again, here we are. 29-23, the Runaway Brides are trying desperately to prevent a power jam is what we're looking at right now. Don't forget, we wanted to tell you, first thing, we've got our next bout coming up before too terribly much longer, and Suki will get to that in a second. And that's our next bout here, our next home team bout. It's going to be on page 2 or 3. Roller Rage is coming up. That's our next big activity here at the Hall of Dames. It's the weekend of Friday the 19th through Sunday the 21st, coming up in 2 weeks. It is a national, it's the biggest roller derby tournament in the country at present. And it is an all-gender tournament inviting people from all rule sets. We are super excited about that. We'll talk more about that during the later part of the bout.
And our next bout is actually going to be on February 3rd. And actually, it's going to be the Runaway Brides again, taking on the Brutal Beauties with the Minor Assaults in a thrilling mashup bout. So who's looking forward to that one? Anybody?
Anybody in here? Anybody looking forward to a minor assaults game? That is always super fun, right? Thank you. The last minor assaults game came down to the final jam, and the winning team was the red squad. And when they took the lead was at the final whistle. They had trailed it was close, and they climbed all the way back. And it's just fun to watch the teams out there just fighting together, you know? Anyway, we're ready to get back to the action. We can now announce, as we're ready to blow the whistle, the challenge was unsuccessful. The Runaway Brides did indeed challenge the penalty on their jammer, which was a cut track penalty. The penalty is upheld, so it is a Coffin Draggers Power Jam.
And jamming for the Draggers is going to be All of You Die, number 96. Let's hear it. Olive's coming in fast, looking for some holes to slide through, and she does. That barely took any energy at all. She's just going for it. She's coming up to get that scoring pass, meeting some Bride opposition there. And that's pretty intense opposition, too. Because I see Lightning McQueen out there. Looks like maybe Novocaine's out there as well, all trying to hold her back.
Yeah, just kind of when those Brides are able to get together at the front there, then they can just keep on rolling because they dictate the front of the pack. And so that's what you've seen here with the clock expiring. So there we go. Clock expires on the Power Jam. So we'll check on the scoring there and see how much closer that got it, or if there was any scoring. Let's see. Olive got all 5. So the nice part about a scoring pass is when you pass a skater, you don't lose the point if they get back by you. So sometimes you'll see a skater call it off when they're facing 3 people, but they know they got by them. So sort of what you saw there. Anyway, that score has gotten right up close all of a sudden. 29-28, Brides in front.
And for the Brides, we got NC Jammer and Murder Mittens for the Draggers.
Stitches is going to get by along the rail, just kind of stumbled along there, is able to grind past that last blocker to kill ya. TK doing everything to kind of hold her back, but Stitches fighting through.
Oh.
And we've had a star pass. Taking over as Jammer is Lightning McQueen. So, looks like the Coffin Draggers all aware of that, and Stitches is going to call it off with Lightning coming in with the full head of steam.
And for the Draggers, we've got Strange, 666 once again, and Dirty Carry, number 44 for the Brides.
And don't look now, but the Coffin Draggers have taken the lead. Coffin Draggers are in front 32-29. Coffin Draggers just took the lead after having the game open 22-0. The Draggers are on a 32-7 run, and the Coffin Draggers have a power jam as well. Look at that. Who was that again, Suki? That's Strange.
That's Strange,
yeah. Co-captain. All right. So another Draggers power jam.
Well, the Brides are doing everything they can to make that stop, though.
Absolutely. The Brides only surrendered 5 points in the last one. Strange runs squarely into Lightning and then returns the favor, and both of them just kind of woo for a second. They got jello knees. Quite a collision twice. 34 seconds left in the power jam. Runaway Brides so far are doing that extremely valid defensive strategy of just not letting the jammer out in the first place and frustrating the clock as long as they can.
Yeah, there's a lot of jostling going on, a lot of bodies going down.
Strange got delivered hard to the track surface there, and we, somebody behind me hissed in pain. And, oh, goodness, big hit up to the outside. A couple people in the front row recoiled. Look out, you're in the blue seats. You might catch a skater when the orca comes by. There goes the end of that jam. Just everybody getting smacked in the face. I was going to say that Strange got that second hit, but Strange took a second to get up and kind of shook it off. That's a lot of contact going on there, and no points for either side. So the Brides defense, as advertised, as everybody seems to know, the Brides defense up to the task.
And we've got Murder Mittens on the line for the Draggers, number 23, and Dirty Carrie's back for number 44 for the Brides. Both of them trying to push through here. Looks like Carrie's towards the back there.
Yeah, we got a total of 3 blockers in the penalty box after all that collisions and everything else. Big, man, this super physical bout so far. And there's both jammers getting out. Murder Mittens had the star off. Star back on. Murder Mittens and Dirty Carrie are now going to get into a jammer race. Murder Mittens to the inside and bumps Dirty Carrie off to the infield and gets a little advantage. Dirty Carrie's going to try to close in here. Murder Mittens, wow, look at that. Little glide move to the outside.
Very smooth.
Very smooth. My goodness. That's smoother than a freshly drafted Guinness. Woo. Not bad at all. All right, we were checking on the score there. All right, so
right, one more time on that raffle ticket for the Yeti Cup. 548634. Check your tickets.
Yeah, let us know if that was you, if you wanted the Yeti Cup. And if not, we're going to redraw that here in a little bit. By the way, let's get a hand for Ollie Mame over here. She's actually a minor assault. I didn't even know that. Yeah, she's a skater. I love it. Anyway, she's running up and down, and I love how they told her to come up and tell us, and she sighed and her shoulders slumped. And I was like, I feel you, kid. I feel you. I hate being the runner, too. I did that enough when I was younger, so I grew up, and now I do it for pay. Oh. All right, back to the action we go. Second quarter is ready to get underway. A brief official timeout there.
And on the jammer line, we got number 96, All of You Die for the Draggers, and number 4, Cherry Kiss for the Brides. Both of them going at a full head of steam.
Olive is just going to yeah, wow, Olive just brute forces through those blockers there. Gets right on through.
Cherry met up with some dragger opposition there at the back, but she's come out now. Olive going to the high, hoping to find an opening, coming back down, and she slides on through, calls it off.
That gives us a great opportunity to talk about here as this next jam's getting ready to get started. So many skaters there. Cherry Kiss and Lightning the Queen, who are both out there. And then also that was All of You Die. We've mentioned several other skaters tonight who came up through our minor assaults program, of which, again, you just saw Ollie. So we'll tout the minor assaults in a bit, but kind of put a bookmark in that in your brain. If you know any 10 to 17-year-olds, it's totally a great thing. We'll talk about that once we have a break.
Jamming, we've got Dirty Carrie, who just got out of the pack, number 44, and I believe Murder Mittens for the Draggers.
I would concur with that. And Murder Mittens back there. So the Draggers' black on purple star, it's hard to see. But taking over as Jammer is Hugs and Stitches. Stared down the track monster and stayed strong. Stayed upright. Dirty Carrie is going to get, woo, wow, look out. Dirty Carrie getting guided off the track by Pee Wee Vermin and kind of wobbling along and managed to keep 1 foot in the air and call it off. That's fun. 4 points for the Brides. Lead remains about 7 for the Draggers.
And we've got 666 Strange for the Draggers, and it's Cherry Kiss again, number 4 for the Brides. And we got the all clear, and there they go. Both of them are jostling bodies around. Cherry's out of the pack. Strange doesn't look too far behind.
There goes Strange, shaking clear as well. Half a track behind, so Cherry's going to get 1 crack at this.
Well, we got a little bit of a dragger wall there. Right.
Oh, tryouts? No tryouts. Okay, I was just checking. Keep talking about doing the minor assaults, and I don't want people to despair that there's no adults. All right, 12-14 to go until halftime. I don't know why I thought that was wrong for some reason. We're looking at Murder Mittens and Dirty Carrie once again for the Draggers and Brides respectively.
Carrie's out of the pack. Looking for that scoring pass.
Yeah, 1 full scoring pass will put the Brides in front, so we'll check on that. And obviously, math they're
big hit.
Couple of big collisions. Every Brides player was down on a knee for a moment. Big collision there. Dirty Carrie knocked off. There's a 4-wall now of Brides defenders united at the back of the pack. And now at the front of the pack, Stitches takes over as Jammer once again, and the jam is called off. Have an official timeout here, so step aside from the action. We got the score from the infield. That was 3 points to the Brides. It's tied. It's 40-40. Well, so far, I gotta say, Suki, so far this is a bout befitting of the 1 and 2 seeds in the standings. We mentioned before, this isn't just oh man, Travis with Palette Creations made all these signs that you see back here with longtime league sponsor. I don't believe he does it anymore, but basically fashioned all these signs and hand painted them out of old pallets. Made our scoreboard, and those swap up and down. So that scoreboard over here is actually the standings. And again, Brides are in front, Draggers are in second. And then tonight was the Beauties and the Valkyries, so they're going to stay put. The Beauties may leapfrog the Bombshells. I don't have it in front of me. And then the top 4 teams make the playoffs. We've got 2 more bout weekends. The Brides close their season next weekend, so they'd be looking to remain undefeated at this point, as obviously would the Draggers. So that's kind of your breakdown of the playoff scenarios right now. But again, right now, so far, the Brides never missed a beat during COVID or any point thereafter and immediately picked up right where they left off. So the road to Titletown goes through Bridesville. Or they're going to run away with another one. Terrible. I know. Awful. Terrible. But, hey, you know what? Suki already said the Draggers are going to try to drag them down, so it's your fault.
I gotta keep up with all the dad jokes.
You made the first pun during this bout. It's your fault now. It's like a game of hearts. I just had to wait for you to drop one, and then I'm just going to shoot the moon.
All right, looks like we got our pairing here. All of You Die 96 and Cherry Kiss number 4.
Always keeping my references in peak modern shape, making references to the card game Hearts. That's what the kids are into nowadays, is Twitch streams about Hearts. There's Cherry Kiss spinning around. Got clear, yeah. Interesting.
Looks like we have a jammer race.
There we go. We got another jammer race in a tie game. Cherry knows about it. Olive comes barreling out of the corner. Cherry, Olive to the inside, and ooh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Cherry had to call it off. Olive got the inside there and managed to hang on to the inside. Fun jammer race. Score still tied. And we're going to have, what are we going to have? Is this going to be? Yeah, 1 moment till we have a break of the action. All right. Oh, my goodness. They just had Dirty Carry come down, and it looks like it's going to be a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. Tie game midway through the second quarter. Murder Mittens at the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers, and it's a Draggers power jam.
Who's excited for a Draggers power jam? Come on.
So something happened there in that jammer race that led to a penalty on Dirty Carry. Again, I can barely see any of the game action. You are a little lucky I can do play-by-play, let alone I can't see penalties.
Mittens is trying to push through some Brides there. Ooh, takes a big, big tumble there. But they're back on the track. They're looking to get out. Big hit from, was that Lightning? Lightning, oh, yeah, no one.
Halfway gone here in the power jam.
But Mittens is back up. Oh.
Yep. So far not out. So we're still waiting. Another big block. The Brides are really bringing the hurt on the defense. I mean it. I mean, the Draggers are definitely not just laying down and not blocking themselves, but I mean, the Brides are really playing with a 1v2 attitude at the moment.
There's a lot of intensity.
A lot of intensity. I mean, I can sense that, and I'm sitting way up here. I'm sitting in a chair. Yeah, squeeze that in.
Okay, real quick. We're still looking to give away that Yeti Cup, so I got another ticket. Pull out your tickets. 548 547. That's 548 547 for the Yeti Cup.
Just a cheer if that's you winning the Yeti Cup. Looks like we've got setting up for. There we go. Sorry, took me a second. And we are looking around. It's Cherry Kiss for the Brides, who ran right into Scary Yeager there along the front straightaway, but everybody's all right. Meanwhile, that's Strange for the Coffin Draggers. That was a 0-point power jam. We were kind of looking to negotiate that ticket, but again, the Brides are just really bringing it. There's a big collision. Strange fighting along at the front of the pack, and Strange blast clear. Strange is lead jammer for the for the Coffin Draggers.
Cherry's at the pack, and Strange is trying to push through.
Yep, Cherry's got the star off. It's usually, you don't say that right away, but the announcers can call it out when everybody else on the track knows about it. So yeah, Cherry's got the lid off at the moment. signaling over to the jam referee. And Cherry is going to kind of roll along here and try to get clear. Pat Yeager on the back on the way by. All right, there we go. 4 more points for the Draggers. Draggers break the tie and jump in front.
And we've got number 18, embezzlement, on the line for the Draggers, and 44, dirty carry for the Brides.
We're halfway through this quarter. That's M's first jam of the evening for the Draggers. Kind of had a sort of an open path of the track there for a moment, but it sort of closed quickly. Just kind of got cloudy with Brides. So M now head of steam. They're shaking loose. Now, who's that wearing the stripe? That's Hugs and Stitches coming through there like a battering ram, clearing a path through their jammer. Here's somebody screeching to a halt. And now there's Dirty Carry going to the inside. Gets blocked off by Pee Wee Vermin and can get up around, and no cut track penalty for that.
Embezzlement's finding a lot of opposition there with the Brides, but it looks like we got a star pass, and it looks like Hugs and Stitches is now jamming for the Draggers.
And Stitches taking over as the jammer and forcing the issue. We got a team timeout. Yeah, I don't blame them. Coffin Draggers are going to take a moment to catch their breath, see how things are going. We've got 4 points for the Brides. It's 44-44.
It's tied again.
It is tied again, 44-44. If you're drinking your favorite fizzy beverage every time there's a lead change, you probably are well hydrated at this point. So we'll get to some of our league sponsors during this stoppage in play.
Okay.
And then they're not here, so don't talk about the booth, but just say they are giving away a 30-minute free massage.
Got it. Okay.
So you do them, I'll do Siphon Draw.
Okay.
So we'll talk about a couple of our sponsors. We've got Siphon Draw Apothecary. We love to talk about them. Siphon Draw is one of our longtime sponsors. It's an all-natural, non-toxic, handcrafted skincare line made by Dolly De Los Muertos, one of our referees. Check them out at Goldfield Ghost Town or at siphoNdrawApothecary.com. All right, back to the action we go. 44-44, all tied. We get NC Jammer for the Runaway Brides.
And 96, all of you die once again for the Draggers.
Fighting through, NC along the inside, and NC is your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides.
Olive's looking to fight through the back of the pack there, looking for an opening. Coming up to the high, but it looks like maybe Lightning McQueen stopped her on that one. And Cherry and Lightning. And then we got Yeager in the mix. There's a whole lot of stuff happening here.
There is Yeager just taking care of a blocker, but at the front of the pack, that was Cherry Kiss making it personal. Trying to keep Olive in. Olive is out now. So NC is going to go ahead and call it off. It looks like both teams have dropped a blocker for this one. Everybody's checking in, checking their gear. Under 6 minutes to go until halftime. The Brides put 3 on the board there.
And it looks like we've got Hugs and Stitches, number 13 for the Draggers, and Holly Hood, number 63 for the Brides, jamming.
She's from West Phoenix.
That's funny.
Yeah. So there is Holly Hood now fighting to the front of the pack. Oh, look at that. Holly Hood weaving through backwards, and Holly Hood's your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. So there's Stitches now getting out of the pack for the Coffin Draggers. About 2/3 of a track behind. Holly Hood's trying to stay in bounds. Now has to get back up and does so without panic. It's an interesting move here coming right in front of us, but as Holly Hood is getting ready to fall off the track, Novocaine reached behind herself and grabbed Hollywood's hands to pull her back up and keep her from falling off the track behind her. So it's amazing the things you see from
That's love and teamwork.
So on the jammer line for the Runaway Brides, we have Cherry Kiss.
Oh, no. It's trouble. 8:35. Skarin Yeager on the jammer line for the Draggers.
I like
Both of the jammers. Oh, Cherry and Yeager pretty close together there. Oh, but Cherry beats her out.
Yeager now is just going to now.
But
oh,
Yeager's
yeah, look
fighting.
at that.
Yeager's fighting. And she's going.
Yeager fights by those blockers and is able to outrun the last one to the point.
Cherry sailing by. Oh, gets caught up on the rail there, but calls it off.
So 2 points for the Brides there. Brides in front by 8. And as we've said, it just kind of keeps chipping.
And we've got Murder Mittens, number 23, on the line for the Draggers, and Holly Hood for the Brides.
Got 3:30 to go until halftime at this point.
The Brides have taken a little bit of a lead here.
A little bit. Hollywood now down to the inside, and that time cannot cling to the inside of the track. Hugs and stitches with a good block. Whole pack kind of comes together. Hollywood spun off to the inside again. Now it's kind of like hunkering down to look for an opening and finds it. There goes Hollywood. Murder Mittens trying to get past those last two blockers for the Brides, but the pack catches up. But taking over, look at that. Oh, wow, Murder Mittens kind of backhanded the star cover to Hugs and Stitches. All right, man, somebody just hollered that penalty out. I don't know who's got leather lungs down there, but I appreciate it. Lucifer, oh, of course it was. Anyway, I clearly heard that, and that was that Murder Mittens had a cut track penalty while she was the jammer before she handed over the star. So it happened again. Cherry, you're just going to have to put like a cop light on your helmet so they know. Clearly tell your team you're going to jam and don't just sneak out the door or something.
I think Carrie just really wants to jam.
Cherry Kiss is your lead, is your jammer for this Runaway Brides Power Jam, as we were discussing.
Draggers are setting up a nice wall here at the back, though, to block her out. Let's see what happens.
Able to close the doors, so that was Yeager and that was Tifa up there at the top of the track. So the strategy is always during a power jam is, stop them if you can, but frustrate more than anything else. And so far, the Coffin Draggers are playing extremely good defense, but now there's trouble. And, oh, look at that, trying to shake clear, and they do. That's the pivot for the Coffin Draggers that got out of the goad situation. That was strange. Getting clear out of that and bringing the pack back together to keep the defensive effort in one place.
That was some good work by the Draggers defense there.
There it is. Wow, a whole lot of action there. 3-point power jam, so excellent defense by the Coffin Draggers to keep that to a minimum for sure. My goodness.
Okay, Carrie, it's your turn now. Number 44 on the line for the Runaway Brides.
If Cherry Kiss didn't start her jams in the snack bar, this wouldn't be an ongoing problem during the bout. I'm just saying. So we've got Dirty Carrie, who's actually at the jammer line for the Runaway Brides.
23 Murder Mittens for the Draggers.
And Murder Mittens finds an opening and is just able to dive. That was a sliding attempt by Lightning the Queen to shut the door, and Murder Mittens gets clear. Now
Carrie's trying to bust through the middle of the pack there.
So now the Dragger's going to try to put some points on the board. Big old block down at the bottom of the track. But Lightning the Queen came off as well, so you heard a loud call out of the pack. So now Murder Mittens coming around. We'll have another jam here before halftime. There's 10 seconds less on the jam clock than there is on the quarter clock. On the quarter clock? I don't know, me not English well. Now, getting knocked down hard there along the back straightaway is Murder Mittens going to get up and just kind of wearily weave through the pack and then call it off. Going to be a discussion here momentarily, so I'll duck my head and Scorekeeping discussion results in a 7-point jam for the Runaway Brides. 7-point jam for the Coffin Draggers. Thank you, Olive. I appreciate it. We got it. Sorry, 55-51. The game's going to stay a lot closer here heading into halftime. It is Olive Uday that was up here scorekeeping for us and is out and clear for the Coffin Draggers.
And NC Jammer is on her tail, number 38 for the Brides.
NC Jammer's down for the chase now, is going to hunker down low, going through the corner, really trying, watch this move here, really trying to build some speed up. Olive's going to catch up to the pack, really fast moving pack. The quarter clock has expired. Olive up to the rail, calls it off. Olive is somebody's hero. I heard that from, could have been from the benches, I'm not sure. And it's a 2-point jam for the Coffin Draggers to take us into halftime. So a lot like the last bout, we're going to head into the half really close. 15-minute halftime, Runaway Brides 55. Coffin Draggers score 6 points to close out the half. 55-53 as we head into halftime. So far, Sookie, you definitely did not. You were a fine prognosticator at the beginning when you pointed out this is a 1 versus 2, and I mean so far it has lived up to the hype, which is, you love to see that when the two best teams go at it.
Absolutely. When it's this close, it's always fun to watch.
right, Derby fans, who's ready for 30 more minutes of hard-hitting Derby action? I'll tell you who else is. It's All of You Die and Cherry Kiss. That's our first two jammers. Uh-oh, look out. Teammates racing up to get on the track. All of You Die leans back. And we are going to have false start, second half. False start, second half, 5 yards, repeat first down. It's a team timeout. It is a team timeout. The Runaway Brides have called the team timeout. So we'll take a brief break in the action. There's 15 minutes to go in the third quarter, 15 minutes exactly. 55-53, Runaway Brides. I see what happened. It would appear that they were about to have a personnel malfunction, which could have resulted in penalties various and possibly severe, so they called timeout very quickly. I'm being facetious when I joke about what happened there. It's quite obvious what happened. When you're racing people up and down that quick, that usually means something has gone awry. All right, so we're going to get back up. It's going to be the same jammers that were up there before, and it is All of You Die and Cherry Kiss. I love when I get everybody hyped up. Who's ready for Derby Act? Timeout. There we go. Oh, big collision. Look out. Wow, the two jammers came
jammer
apart
collision.
came right back together and just ran into each other. Wow. And Olive along the inside has to kind of wobble and then looks up and then now
Cherry's
gets
weaving her way through, though.
both of them are. Oh, Cherry just got run over. Wow, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. That time she did. Man. I'm all for. Suki had an idea earlier, which was, why is this safety rail in the way? Or, excuse me, I think that was Mary. Anyway, oh my goodness, finally, there goes Olive getting out of the pack. Aunt Tifa took one heck of a shot there along the front straightaway and is going to just kind of coast along behind the pack there and think about things. My goodness.
Yeah, Olive's coming around, and Cherry's actually out of the pack now. Olive's trying to get those points. Meeting up with some brides there at the rail.
And the clock is brought to a halt. Olive calls it off with Cherry closing in. So a whole lot of action there to get things started. So it's 3 points for the Runaway Brides to start things off 58-53. Our second jam of the second half is going to be a power jam for the Coffin Draggers, and it's Hugs and Stitches. Coraline Bones with Phoenix Roller Derby is excited right now. Hugs and Stitches at the jammer line, waiting. And oh goodness, now we've got another timeout. It's an official timeout. Okay. So they're going to check everything and make sure it's all right. Scoring discussion. All right, everything's sorted. All right, everything's sorted out there. Points have been rearranged. We had a moment there where these eyes in the sky had to get uncrossed, and so our eyes were crossed. Anyway, thank you. Retro looked at me and visually groaned. Anyway, I know. I can hear you. I can hear your eyes. The Coffin Draggers now are in front, 56-55. And the Coffin Draggers do still have a power jam with Hugs and Stitches. Runs right up into a couple of blockers.
Barreling through some brides there.
And stays on the track, doesn't get blocked off. and then runs into a defender and knocks up. Gets clear in the back straightaway. Much to the pleasure of the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd's going wild for this.
Right up in the front of everybody back there, and Al Annihilates is goaded at the back of the pack. Excuse me, that's not Al, that's Novocaine. My apologies. Novocaine's goaded at the back after getting blocked huge there.
And Stitches is trying to make it through those that little wall there of Brides, but they're not yielding, so.
Yeah, 17 seconds, 16 seconds left, and definitely if they keep this to one scoring pass, then they've still sort of won the Power Jam, and Stitches is going to call it off. So we'll see if Stitches got all 5 of the points. Check on it. Stitches got 4 of the 5, so it's a 4-point Power Jam. Once again, that was one heck of an effort to get clear, and 4 hard-fought points out of it.
And it's our dynamic duo again. 96, All of You Die for the Draggers, and Cherry Kiss, number 4 for the Brides.
Underway we go. Olive and Cherry are...
Yeah, Cherry's getting some opposition from Jaeger there a little bit. Bumped off into the infield, but back on the track. Olive's out in front. Cherry's hot on her tail, as usual.
Cherry closing in, and once again, it's another one of those jams where we see both jammers get out, and it's going to be 2 or 3 hard-fought points. Or, Olive up to the outside was signaling to call it off. We got a whistle. Let's check on what's going on here. So we end up with 5 points for the Coffin Draggers and 4 points for the Runaway Brides. That is the tally there. All of You Die crashing up into the rail. Wasn't able to call it off in time, so the Brides pick up 4 in the back. So net gain of 1 for the Draggers. And Draggers are now in front by 6 instead of 5.
And we've got NC Jammer, number 38 for the Brides, and Murder Mittens, number 23 for the Draggers, who's already out of the pack.
NC is pinned at the back, or was, and then just kind of tiptoed through. Everybody was almost a little distracted, I want to say. Stitches tried to jump on the way, but NC was already gone, so now back to the pack. Murder Mittens trying to get through, calls it off. Suki and I both took a second to wipe our eyes and adjust our glasses. This is hard and fast, just like the first bout. This is great action going on right now. At the jammer line for the Runaway Brides, excited as always to jam number 95, Lightning McQueen.
And number 96, All of You Die, once again for the Draggers.
So Lightning, your team captain of the Brides. Of course, she also helped out the Valkyries early this evening. So Lightning
barrels her way through.
Wow, Lightning just disposing of Strange as a blocker.
But
and
here comes Olive.
There we go, yep, Olive out again, so.
Looks like there's a lot of jostling in the pack. The pack's moving fast once again.
Lightning fights through, kind of matches hips with that last blocker, calls it off. Ends up being 4 for the Brides, and on the back end, the Draggers picked up 2 points. I was so focused on the front end, I didn't even see the pursuit. Well, look at that. The Draggers put 2 points on the board, too, 71-63.
And we've got number 44, Dirty Carry for the Brides.
And jamming for the Draggers for the first time, that's number 7780, Pee Wee Vermin. Big collision at the front of the pack, another big collision, couple of blockers down, and there goes Pee Wee. Pee Wee's out and clear. Lead jammer for the Draggers.
Carrie's pushing her way out, coming around. Pee Wee's making that last turn there and to get into some scoring. Brides are putting up a wall, though.
Pee Wee calls it off in the turn. 1 point there for the Draggers.
And we've got All of You Die once again for the Draggers, number 96, and Lightning McQueen, number 95 for the Brides.
Long pause there to start. Scaring Jaeger gets rudely bumped off to the infield to start the jam.
Yeah, she deserved it.
There we are. And there's Olive getting out this time. Olive gets the best of it. Lightning's going to get out of the pack as well.
Lightning's coming up right behind.
So here we are one more time.
Pack looks a little scattered this time. Oh, big hit by Cherry on Olive there.
Olive, you die. I'm going to say, I may have to watch this on slow-mo when I pull up the bout footage on Twitch later, but I think Olive was airborne momentarily there and then contacted the rail with her skates in the air. I think it was really fast, but I think momentarily Olive may have actually unintentionally left the ground in an effort to kind of bounce off the rail. Sorry, I see things like this sometimes, and it just blows my mind. So no points for either side once it's all said and done, 75-63.
And we've got NC Jammer, who just took a little tumble there for the Brides, but coming up to the front of the pack here. And for the Draggers,
so NC is now going around the outside and trying to, and did so carefully, kind of trying to leave Novocaine in an advantageous spot, and was able to do so. So NC gets out, Murder Mittens doesn't. 30 seconds to go on the jam clock. And we've had a star pass. Hugs and Stitches taking over as jammer.
Oh, and NC Jammer calls it off.
We have every possible flavor of ice cream right now. Everything is happening. It's like that one movie that won all the Oscars. 3 points for the Brides there, so the Draggers are in front by 9. All right, now it looks like we're setting up for a power jam. We are. Oh, my goodness. They brought down the jammer. All of You Die comes down off the track, and now it's a power jam for the Runaway Brides with Cherry Kiss. Looks like all 4 blockers for the Coffin Draggers, and then the Runaway Brides are down 1 blocker. That's what we're looking at here. 10 seconds gone in the power jam.
Draggers don't have much of a choice. They have to let Cherry go through. She's coming around. Looks like we got a lot of jostling going on in the pack back here.
Yeah, the physicality continues.
Cherry's trying to bust through a 3-person dragger wall there. Gets through.
Cherry just able to get around. There's 18 seconds left in the power jam. So now Cherry coming in for a scoring pass. Coffin Draggers lining up. Excellent first defensive strike there by Strange, and then Strange quickly gets up to back up that front defensive wall.
Draggers trying to keep Cherry back a little bit. A few people get bumped up infield, and it's off.
All right, we are going to check on that score and that power jam from the infield. All right. Runaway Brides are going to put 8 points on the board during the power jam by Cherry Kiss.
We just got a 1-point difference.
That's right. Coffin Draggers in front by 1. We got another first-time jammer at the jammer line for the Runaway Brides, number 420, Astro Thought.
And we've got 23 Murder Mittens for the Draggers.
Astro up to the high side.
Big hit
my
from
goodness.
Astro.
Astro just dump trucked Pee Wee Herman. My goodness, be kind. Woof. I do love me a good, wow. That was great. Astro now lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. Let me get back into my announcer, take off my fan hat. There goes, oh, Astro again, just trying to get through a block.
Okay,
Big
there's
collision
just bodies
that time.
all over the track.
There are. Whole lot of bodies going down. Now fighting to get through. Astro's trying to get some points. The jam's only half over. Astro now is looking, trying to kind of leverage along the rail, and there they go, kind of weaving through the pack.
And they're out.
They are out. Bench is saying go on around. There's 13 seconds left. And now Murder Mittens gets out as well for the Coffin Draggers.
And Astro calls it off.
Astro calls it off. Probably not going to make it back to the pack in time, and the only reward was going to be maybe giving up a point to Murder Mittens. All right. Now we got a challenge already, so challenge is going to be Coffin Draggers. No? I'm sorry. Who's challenging? Right. Okay. That's not anybody's fault but my own. I'm so blind I couldn't see which way some Puerto Rican guy was pointing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyhow, this is a challenge by the Runaway Brides who just completed that power jam. So, just completed that jam. So we'll see what it is as we usually do in a little bit. Stoppage in play. 79-75. Runaway Brides in front. Hey, Ollie, you ready to go? All right, hit it. Here comes Ollie Mame. Where's Ollie? There we go. Sorry, they're telling Ollie to get it. Here, okay. Here we go.
She's trying to get the green light here.
All right.
Let's hear it. Who wants some merch?
There we go. Some back straightaway winners this time. That's wonderful and fantastic. Thank you as always, Ollie. Wonderful job. All right, so challenge now is being discussed. We'll be getting back to that momentarily. We will tell you about some league sponsors and things such as our next bout and whatnot. I had mentioned Roller Rage briefly. So don't forget, like we said, Roller Rage is Friday, January 19th to Sunday, January 21st, so 2 weeks from now, right here at the Hall of Dames. And that is a all-gender tournament open to skaters of all sorts of... Absolutely. Hey, thank you. Yes, Foxy, right, Foxy? Yes? You're not Foxy? You're Cotton. Sorry, I don't... But I never see... Beaten Cottontail, thank you. See, you're Cotton. I get to know people when I see them with their helmets off.
I know, it's way different.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, also I'm blind, as I've said many times. Anyway. No, sorry about that. Cotton just came up to tell us. Beat Her Cottontail just came up here to let us know. Last call for the snack bar. So make your way down to the snack bar. Looks like they're going to close that up here before the end of the third quarter as our challenge continues. Anyway, Roller Rage, by the way, as we said, all-gender tournament. There are several teams. Check out Roller Rage on Facebook to get a look at some of the teams. There's Colorado Bank Derby that's going to be here. Their name is CBD. There's a lot of, a lot of merch that has that on it. There's the Awesome Skate Stars. Anyway, it's going to be fantastic. It's a 3-day tournament. It is crazy, and we are definitely looking forward to that. All right. Well, after the challenge review process, that penalty on Astrothought is overturned. We had a back block penalty, which is essentially when you kind of crash into somebody's back. That's a back block. And at any rate, Astrothought no longer guilty of said infraction, so no power jam for the Coffin Draggers. So the Runaway Brides have jumped in front now, 79-75. Astrothought parking 5 points up on the board there and no penalties, so good for that.
Did you still want me to do Copper Star?
All right, looks like we're getting ready to go. Game reset. Runaway Brides in front by 4 at the moment. 4:08 to go here in the third quarter. We also wanted to announce that the Runaway Brides got their timeout back at the beginning of the third quarter. Apparently there was a administrative snafu which led to some of the Brides rushing in at the last second, so they gave them that timeout back. Hence, both teams have both of their second half timeouts remaining at this point. Plus, the Brides just got their challenge back, so everybody's all square.
And jamming for the Brides, we've got Cherry Kiss number 4. And for the Coffin Draggers, we've got 666 Strange.
Cherry Kiss was trying to get around a block by Murder Mittens there in the turn, and Murder Mittens just dipped off the track, so Cherry got to go on by.
Strange got knocked off there at the beginning, but is making a comeback here, trying to get out, trying to get past. It looks like I'll annihilate ya.
So
Cherry's down in the infield.
Yep,
Coming
Strange
through.
trying to keep it to one attempt for Cherry, and Cherry calls it off. All right, it's 2 points up for the Brides. Brides are in front now 81-75.
All right, we've got a power jam, Coffin Draggers fans. And it looks like Olive Udai is going to go ahead and take that jam for you. So let's hear it for her.
That's right. Olive's so confident that we hadn't even officially announced it yet, and Olive turns and goes, "It's a power. It's a power right now." We're like, "Yes, we know."
Olive is very helpful when she jams.
Very eager to start the jamming. Hey, it's a power jam. It's a power jam. Anyway, there's 41 seconds left, and so far, the Runaway Brides were very aware it was a power jam.
They are moving so fast.
They
They're
really
just
are.
trying to stay so far ahead of Olive, but Olive did get out. Now it looks like we're going to go ahead and regroup.
One of the defenders there for the Brides came through and kind of lost their balance. I honestly wasn't sure which one of them that was, and then just sort of tumbled over, and it sort of opened the door for Olive to get clear. There's 18 seconds left in the power jam, and now Olive's going to try to get by at least a few of these skaters here.
Olive's trying to pick her spot here, goes up against the rail. A couple of Brides go down. Olive gets tangled up there a little bit.
Good block there by Lightning. There's 1 second left, and there it is. The clock expires. So Olive was just trying to stick those hips in front of as many skaters as she could. Gets 4 points out of it. Wow, 4 hard-fought points during that power jam. We're going to finish this third quarter, and I'm gonna adventurously say we're not going to break 90 points in the third quarter by either team. This has been an absolute grunge fest. This is real fun to watch. I'll tell you all what. We're going to have a timeout, or are we? Yes. Yes, we are going to have a timeout. All right. Runaway Brides are going to use one of their second half timeouts. So took us a moment there. So, gosh, another stoppage in play. Coffin Draggers put 4 points on the board. It's 81-79. Brides in front with 1:35 to go in the third quarter.
All right, so I'm going to take advantage of this time out and tell you a little bit about some caffeine. Copper Star Coffee is a locally owned coffee shop and cafe providing hand-blended drinks and award-winning baked goods. Visit them on the southwest corner of 7th Avenue in Heatherbrae, which is just north of Indian School, for delicious coffee, tea, muffins, and their incredible homemade bagels every day. All right, it looks like we've got a little bit of a bombshell jammer opposition
we do,
here.
yeah.
We've got Dirty Carry, number 44, and Skarin Yeager, 835. And Skarin Yeager is just out.
So
but Carrie's right behind her, so it's going to be a jammer race. Let's go.
Oh, and Yeager's down for the game. I saw Yeager look back, now checking again. Again, these are teammates. Yeager calls it off. Yeager says, yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Come on, Yeager.
That was fun. Yeah, obviously, you hear us mention sometimes about like Lightning the Queen skating twice tonight, things like that. A lot of our home teams, this is our second full league season, and a lot of our home teams still have not quite enough skaters to roster a full team. So we have a massive sub pool of skaters who will jump in. Also, new rookies that come up through our tryout program and things like that. So that's how you, ended up with two teammates going head-to-head on two different teams.
It totally speaks to the sportsmanship and the camaraderie that roller derby provides.
Yeah, very much so.
And we've got Hugs and Stitches coming out of the pack for the Coffin Draggers, but Cherry Kiss is not too far behind, number 4.
This is probably two of the fastest skaters in the league if you had to time them. I'd say 2 of the top 10. So here comes Hugs and Stitches, going to blast through and around the outside, just tries to stick her hips in front of a couple of those blockers and calls it off. I don't know. I'd love to sit up here and talk with Al about who's fastest. Al would know exactly, probably with like straightaway times and stuff. Well, Clifton, I'll tell you, their splits were pretty good. However, when they were in the rookie program together, sorry, that's my Al impression. Never tell Al I did that. Anyway.
And we've got Dirty Carry again on the jammer line for the Brides, number 44, and I believe that's Strange.
That is Strange.
666. And Strange is trying to take the high road, but it looks like Lightning. It's really, really working to hold him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Carey went down to the inside trying to find an opening and it got knocked to the infield and had to wait for the pack to crawl back by her to get back up. Quarter clock has expired. Look at that. Not even lost track of time. This bout is so good.
Looks like Jaeger's trying to run some interference for Strange there so they can get out of the pack.
So still nobody out. Jam clock halfway gone. Strange. Oh, no! And almost was able to stay up, and D20 falls off the track, and Strange gets waved on by. Strange just went along and took no less than 8 steps on their toe blocks on the very rounded part of the coping. That was fascinating. And then gets clear as lead jammer for the Draggers and is going to maybe get a point for it. Let's check this out at the back end of that and see if that might. I can only imagine how those calf muscles must feel. That was something else. 1 point for the Draggers. Look at that. Strange's effort ties the game going into the 4th quarter. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, wait a second. Draggers get 1 more point. Rainbow Crash running up. The Draggers are going to take the lead going into the 4th quarter. Are you kidding me right now? All right. Well, that's 2 straight bouts tonight that have been a 1-point game going into the 4th quarter. Sorry we provided good value for your tickets this evening, everybody.
Looks like something was going on in the last jam of the third quarter because we do have a Draggers challenge. So we're just awaiting to find out what is going on there. In the meantime, who's excited about this fourth quarter? This is a very tight game. Let's hear it. Come on. I know you got some energy left. Let's go. This is it.
We told you about Roller Rage coming up, and definitely also our next home bout here is going to be on Saturday, February 3rd. It's the Brutal Beauties, who you just saw earlier this evening, going up against these Runaway Brides. And once again, that'll be the Brides' last game of the season. I believe the Beauties, too. Yeah, the Brides and Beauties, that'll be their last game because then the last bout will be everybody else's last game. So, that is going to be fun. You get the Brides here fighting to stay on top of the standings, and it looks like the challenge is over. All right, so basically that challenge was by the Coffin Draggers, and their jammer, Strange, picked up a penalty there in that last jam. So they were challenging that penalty, and the result is challenge unsuccessful, penalty upheld. So we're starting things off with a power jam for the Runaway Brides. Right here, the Brides down one, and so far, those two defenders for the Coffin Draggers at the front of the pack are doing great work. There's only 3 of them out there total.
And it's Cherry Kiss doing the jamming, so if you're a Runaway Brides fan, you might want to give her some love.
25 seconds left in the power jam, and obviously the Draggers were also interested in trying to frustrate and drive as much time at that clock as they could. Cherry Kiss gets 1 scoring pass, has 13 seconds left to get another, which is definitely more than enough time. And that's going to do it. Cherry Kiss finishing off that second scoring pass just before the clock expires. So just like that, the Runaway Brides jump in front by 9 points.
Looks like Hugs and Stitches was so excited to get to the jammer line that they forgot the star. But we're good now. Star on. Dirty Carrie's waiting as well. Number 44, Runaway Brides.
Stitch is going to try to get right in Dirty Carrie's grill. And is going to try to push Carrie up to the high side and sort of hand Carrie off to the defense and then fight through the pack. And that worked perfectly. That worked absolutely perfectly. Just sort of took Carrie and was like, here, you take this. And then just drove through the pack. Lead jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
And Carrie's still trying to get out of the pack while Hugs and Stitches is just weaseling their way through.
Now the two halves of the pack coming together. Stitches is stuck in behind a 3-wall of defenders, and Stitches goes ahead and calls it off. So Stitches gets 4 points up on the board, gets the 4. 91-86, Brides in front, 12:45 to go in regulation.
And we've got NC Jammer, number 38 for the Runaway Brides, and Strange, 666 for the Draggers.
NC trying to tiptoe down the inside. I see all of you got in the way there. NC still closer to the front of the pack. Strange is going to take a running start and try to get past Cherry. Going to do it the hard way. Cherry's in the way, though, and Cherry's up to the task. Cherry grinds to a halt, and NC is clear for the Runaway Brides. Excellent defense at the front of the pack by Cherry Kiss. Strange now up at the back of the pack. Took a hard tumble, did Strange. D&D's nuts kind of took Strange off the pack. Strange now is going to be looking to play some Jammer defense. With 12 seconds left, here comes NC Jammer.
Coming around to make another scoring pass, meets up with Skaren Yeager and calls it off.
So the Runaway Brides put 9 points on the board. It's 100-86 at the moment for the Brides. And don't look now, but it's going to be a power jam for the Runaway Brides. It's Cherry Kiss at the Jammer line, and it's also going to be an official timeout. So, an official timeout, and we'll check on the assessment of penalties and whatnot. So 100-86, Brides in front, Brides right at 100. We'll see, obviously, the Draggers will probably be approaching that sometime shortly. So two very close, very hard-fought bouts, absolutely. It's been fantastic so far. Timeout continuing.
Little shout out to the group over here who's really digging Dolly Parton right now.
All right, back to the action we go. Once again, power jam for the Runaway Brides. However, Runaway Brides only have 2 blockers instead of the usual 4. So this will be an interesting showdown.
And what blockers they are, though. That's Lightning McQueen and Al Annihilate Ya. Cherry is out of the pack and working her way through for some scoring.
Cherry now coming around, and that back of the pack there, those 2 draggers are back there and going to just try to get right in the way. Cherry kind of tap dances through and is now going to try to get around. Stitches gets a good block in, and now the 3 of them are back together at the front of the pack to continue playing defense. Kind of friendly fire there. Lightning got knocked around. So the draggers were able to kind of hold defensively there. And they're definitely, at this point, just going to try to frustrate. And there, Cherry kind of weaves through, but has to go back to avoid a cut track penalty. So good defense once again. Cherry's going to call it off. Excellent defense on the power jam. Once again, both teams have been extremely good on the power jam defense all night long. 5 points for the Brides. Brides are in front by 19. The largest lead the Brides have had since it was 22-0. So the Brides are definitely trying to push this thing up higher if they can.
And we've got All of You Die, 96, jamming for the Draggers, and number 38, NC Jammer for the Brides. Got a little jostling going on in the pack here, some personnel changes.
Jam underway, just under 10 minutes to go here. And both jammers
Ooh,
out
jammer
right at the
race.
same time. We do have a jammer race, and NC goes ahead and calls it off as they both kind of got into the back straightaway there and were on even footing. So quick call off to that one, so we'll have a full pack. This one's going to be Dirty Carry for the Brides, and it'll be Murder Mittens for the Coffin Draggers. Going to be 9 minutes to go here shortly, 9:20 at the moment. So 40 seconds burned off the clock there in the favor of the Runaway Brides. Big collision at the back of the pack. That was 2 Coffin Draggers blockers that were
Carries
down.
the lead jammer. Coming around while Murder Mittens is working their way through the pack. Carey's coming around for some scoring. Let's see what happens. Takes a big tumble there.
Murder Mittens is still battling at the front of the pack and still trying to push by Lightning. And now taking off, Murder Mittens hands it off to Stitches. Stitches is taking over as jammer for the Coffin Draggers and is now just becomes aware just becomes aware of dirty carry there at the last second, and that's why the announcers don't say anything until everybody is aware of it, because Hugs and Stitches was not aware that dirty carry was right behind her. Surrendering a final point, so the Brides now up 110 to 86 with 8 minutes to go in regulation.
And we've got number 151, Ash Smash'em for the Runaway Brides on the jammer line. Okay, just kidding.
Another official timeout, so we're going to talk over some of the penalties there probably, make sure everything's been assessed correctly. So 8:02 to go. Runaway Brides are trying to build on this lead and put this thing away at the moment. 110 to 86, Brides in front. This timeout proceeds. All right, there's head ref Boyardee getting everybody all set. All right, so we're going to get back to things with NC Jammer and Olive You Die. So Olive still, NC joining here. So 8 minutes to go in regulation. Big cheer went up from the crowd because it looked like NC was clear and NC was not clear. So everybody went, hey, oh. So that was that sound. Now NC up to the front again and is going to have to deal with Jaeger, and I think that's Strange. And
I think so too, yeah.
Big collision back there at the back of the pack.
Yeah, both jammers are just trying to get through the pack at this point. They're really pushing through. Defense is amazing.
Olive You Die manages to stay upright. Cherry Kiss was delivering a really good block, but Olive staying up. 22 seconds to go in the jam, and NC is now going to play defense at the back of the pack. Effective defense, but Olive is able to tiptoe by, kind of using the point of the turn to her advantage. So now Olive making it around and trying to catch up to the pack one more time. May get there, or should get that last jammer point. We'll have to check on that. So yeah, Olive comes around and gets the jammer point and the ghost point. So Olive puts 7 points on the board for the Coffin Draggers. 110 to 93. There's going to be about 6:30 to go in regulation.
And we've got our jammers Cherry Kiss and Hugs and Stitches, and they keep inching farther and farther back away from us. What do you not like me now?
So Stitches goes right up in the middle, knocks the blocker out of the way, and they're almost going to out. Cherry gets out first. There goes Cherry. Stitches hard up into the rail. Spins around Al to get out as well. So try to keep this at one scoring attempt for Cherry Kiss.
Stitches is coming in hot. And then Cherry calls it off.
Cherry gets the points and then waits a couple extra seconds to try to burn a couple more seconds off the clock. We're going to check what's going on here, and I am going to see a challenge because it looked like I was going to see a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. All right. Game reset, 5:50 to go in regulation. Runaway Brides are in front at this point by 19 points. 114 to 95. 5:50 to go, and at the moment we are facing the possibility of a Coffin Draggers power jam. So that is almost assuredly what is under review at the moment. All right, well, I stand corrected. They just asked for the eyes in the sky, so it's points. And they want both of them. Actually, all three of them are going down, including Gigi, so yeah. But it must mean points possibly for both sides. As you see on the scoreboard, Brides were awarded 4 and the Draggers 2. So the Brides either think they didn't get enough or they think that the draggers got too many. That's kind of your two options. So there's Rosie the Ripper, and there's Lumbre de la Luna, and there's, was that Gigi? I think that's Gigi again, right? Anyhow, challenge will proceed here apace. Once again, fans, mark your calendars. Saturday, February 3rd will be our next home bout here at the Hall of Dames. Next event will be Roller Rage in 2 weeks, but in 4 weeks is going to be our next bout. Saturday, February 3rd will be the final bout of the season for the Runaway Brides and the Brutal Beauties. Playing for final playoff positioning. For the Beauties, definitely, playing to ensure they get in, although their victory tonight may help that go a long way.
And there's going to be a minor assaults mashup, too.
Yeah, minor assaults mashup is always a lot of fun. And it's basically our minor assaults. They kind of train against our adult skaters, so some of our hot shots from our adult all-star team will skate with the minor assaults. It always is a very good time. Very good camaraderie.
Perhaps we might see Ollie there.
Long discussion here, obviously, points in a bout that is this close already towards the end of the game here. Every point matters, so you can see that's why we have a challenge here from the Brides. To be fair, I did not see a jammer for the for the Brides, so we honestly may still be facing a Brides power, I keep getting it backwards. A Coffin Draggers power jam. We'll wait here and get I'm sure they're sending the word back up to us with the eyes. It's better than a pneumatic tube at a bank. Actually, is the challenge over? Checking it out. Now here come the eyes in the sky. Challenge has wrapped up. We'll get the official word here. There we do. It is not a power jam indeed. What do we got as far as the challenge goes? Okay, points were upheld. Challenge unsuccessful. So, as Suki mentioned, not a power jam. It is Olive for the Coffin Draggers.
And
that's Ash Smash'em. There you go for the Runaway Brides.
Gets bumped off into the infield. Olive looking for a way out of the pack.
Ash is trying to go down along the inside, and I saw Murder Mittens kind of close that path. So now Olive fighting at the top of the track is going to get knocked around, trying to get clear. Still nobody out. Olive routed off the track once again by one of the Brides blockers. Ash now closing in from the back of the pack.
Looks like Ash Smash'em is just picking her moment back there.
Defenders still at the front of the pack basically are just focusing on Olive, and Olive is bumped off, but gets to go on by. There's only 6 seconds left on the clock, so Olive's going to try to get around here and maybe get a point out of it. But an excellent defensive effort by the Runaway Brides, and just what the doctor ordered. Burned a full 60 seconds off the game clock. We're under 5 minutes to go, and the Brides are still in front by 19. So you definitely make the clock your friend in a situation like this.
And on the jammer line, we've got Dirty Carry, number 44 for the Runaway Brides, and Hugs and Stitches for the Draggers.
Looks like we're getting ready to go. We've got several blockers in the penalty box after that struggle of a jam recently. So Hugs and Stitches now is going to race right up to the pack, as is Dirty Carry, and Stitches gets through along the outside. Dirty Carry is now tiptoeing along and trying to get past Pee Wee Vermin, and Pee Wee's out of play.
Wow.
Stitches with a move down there that I'm not even going to try to describe because I didn't have a clear look at it behind a lot of heads.
It was like a spin move
There
with
was-
a
yeah.
squat.
Quite a move.
Just amazing.
4 points for the Draggers, 114.99. The Brides are in front by 15 with 3:44 to go in regulation. That's going to be Ash Smash'em once again for the Brides at the jammer line.
And all of you die once again, 96 for the Draggers.
Ash now again is going to try to play some jammer defense. Going to try to help the team out. Now is going to try to shake loose. Olive towards the back of the pack, now kind of maneuvering through. Up to the high side, and again the strategy is going to be they're just going to try to focus only on Olive and not really worrying about getting the jammer out. But there goes Ash Smash'em around the outside, just kind of snuck through. Olive You Die is now out with 28 seconds to go on the jam clock. 3 minutes to go in regulation, and Ash calls it off. Ash with a big cheer from the Runaway Brides contingent. Once again, burning another 45 seconds off the game clock. We're under 3 minutes to go. Runaway Brides in front by 15 still.
And we've got Hugs and Stitches for the Coffin Draggers on the line, and NC Jammer for the Runaway Brides, number 38.
NC tries to play a little defense. Stitches kind of shakes it off. Stitches to the high side, fights around, trying to fight through. And there goes NC along the inside, and NC Jammer's out. NC is lead jammer for the Brides. That's what they want. That is what they wanted, is to get lead jammer. They want to control the clock. Still, those defenders on the front of the pack are grinding things to a halt. Hugs and Stitches not yet clear. Now clear is going to outrun D20 to the
But
run to
NC
the
Jammer's
point.
already in the middle of the pack, picking up some points.
NC is going to get back up and then call it off. Just call it off, was waiting as long as possible and trying to get more time. We're under 2 minutes to go, and it's 4 more points for the Brides. 118.99. The Brides are in front. We have no jammers. We have 0 jammers.
That could be interesting.
Yes. It is going to be, there we are. It is it's a power jam. We have a power jam for the Brides here with the late going. Runaway Brides are going to try to shut the book on this one with Cherry Kiss and a power jam with a minute 30 to go. Honestly, if they scored 0 points and just burned 60 seconds off the clock, that would probably be fine. Although they are waving ferociously for her to continue scoring points, as one would expect in a roller derby game. However, now it kind of slows down.
The Coffin Draggers aren't giving up. They're definitely putting up some fight here for Cherry, not making it easy for her to get out.
Cherry Kiss just kind of riding along behind. There's 16 seconds left. Runaway Brides are really trying to move that clock on down. Cherry gets out. Is going to leisurely kind of drift on around here. Obviously just going to run the clock all the way out. And there it is. So 30 seconds left on the game clock. We've got time for one more jam. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see if regulation will be extended or not. Quarter clock running down. Is 10 seconds left on the quarter clock and the regulation clock. Our last jammers of the evening, it's Ash Smash'em, and jamming for the first time, Aunt Tifa. Aunt Tifa is jamming for the Draggers. Is going to try to get clear. Astro thought with a good block. Quarter clock has now expired. So this will be the last jam of regulation. Ash is trying to get out and get clear to call the jam and not able to do so. Good blocking on the front end by Hugs and Stitches. And there goes Tifa. Tifa gets out with 30 seconds left on the jam clock. So Tifa now is going to try to make it around. Ash Smash'em now is going to slow down and just basically try to not get any penalties. You see the hands go up. No sense in getting an arms penalty at this point. Tifa now is going to weave to the outside and going to try to finish off a scoring pass. Good defense on the front end. Tifa just kind of splits right between Nova and Al. And with that, Tifa's going to call it off. Coffin Draggers put 5 points on the board. Coffin Draggers break 100 in the last jam of regulation. So right now the Brides in front by 14. Let's check on the finality of the score. See if there's any penalty jams or not. Checking on it here. Still waiting, making sure everybody's got all their penalties reported in. I do see we had a couple penalties on the Brides. And that is going to do it with that whistle. The score is final. 118 to 104. Tested well by the number 2 seed in the standings, but the Runaway Brides are once again victorious.
Yeah, let's hear it for both teams. This was an incredible game. So tight all the way through. Great effort by everybody.
Absolutely. The Brides really had to fight for this one. Brides were behind going into the fourth quarter for the first time in as a while that I can remember. Let's hear it for the Coffin Draggers now coming around as well. Excellent showing by the Draggers. Excellent showing. Their first loss of the season, so they should probably still be sitting in second or perhaps a tie for second in the standings, but I imagine they would lose too much ground. This was a battle of 3-0 teams, if I remember correctly. So that is going to take it to the end of this bout evening. It has been a pleasure to announce for you. For Black Eyed Please, Mary, who was here earlier. I'm Clofton P. Grudge, and this is
Sookie Talkin' Smack House.
That's right. So once again, victorious tonight, the Runaway Brides, 118 to 104, and your victorious teamer this evening, the Brutal Beauties. If you've been drinking the Sudsy drink, do not drive your vehicle under any circumstances. Just don't do it. Don't do it. That is all. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks for Roller Rage. It all starts at like 6 o'clock in the morning, Friday, January 19th. I'll be here, so you might as well be here too. And then there's going to be 3 whole days of roller derby action. And then your next bout for the Arizona Derby Dames right here, Saturday, February 3rd, 5 p.m. Same ticket price, same time we start. Fantastic derby action. Have a wonderful evening.